My name is Arthur. My music making name is Rhythm Grunt, and I'm from Austin, Texas. Before I found out about Best Music Coach, I was mostly just listening to music and vaguely interested in making it. I didn't have any specific plans or goals, and I didn't really get much further than listening to the occasional lesson and maybe fiddling around with a digital audio workstation. Being not having a clear goal made everything I did feel kind of directionless and empty. It wasn't a fun time. What I wasn't able to do back then was make proper songs instead of just experimenting with a piece of software. I didn't feel like I was understanding what music was and what made some songs good or better than others. To be blunt, I think not having that kind of direction made me a lot less fun to be around. I can't really remember a specific moment, but I do know that whenever people talked about their plans for the weekend and such, I couldn't really give a very good answer. Well, that made me feel a lot more isolated from others than I'd like. Best Music Coach just happened to pop up onto my YouTube feed, funnily enough, and I happened to see one of the lessons there and I took an interest. This was in very late November, I believe, was when I started really thinking about it. And after a bit of looking into what the Best Music Coach program entailed, I figured that since the year was ending anyway, I might as well try to take care of my New Year's resolution a bit early and really start expanding myself creatively. And that's when I decided to sign up, met Dan, met a bunch of other fellow creators, and well, now I'm here. I wasn't quite sure at first if this was the right program for me, but I think Dan's coaching and his lessons made a big difference. I had proper direction and guidance as opposed to seeing a bunch of scattered concepts without a concrete way to put them on paper. I suppose you could say my fears were that I wasn't good enough for the coaching. I said yes because I wanted to try anyway, because it's not possible to wait for a 100% chance of success for every endeavor. That's not really how those things work. I recently released my first song, and while it's a fairly simple one, I'm confident that this will be the stepping stone to more complex tracks later on. I've been going through Dan's music lessons, continuing since November, and I've been making good progress. It makes me feel a lot more confident in my ability to learn and make music. I'm able to understand a bunch of the different concepts behind music, like how certain melodies are usually constructed, very common patterns throughout all kinds of songs, as well as a review of some of the fundamentals of what music is and how it's written down. I suppose the biggest problem was that I would always wind up tearing down or tearing apart my own work because I thought it wasn't good enough. A constant perfectionism. But it's like I said earlier, you shouldn't wait for 100% success before putting yourself out there. And the coaching and lessons did a lot to remind me of that. Being able to sit down and create music at professional level quality, it fills me with a lot more confidence when I sit down to a piece of software. I'm no longer waving my hands around in the dark. I've got knowledge with me that can help illuminate the path ahead. I haven't told everyone around about the course I'm taking, but I think they noticed the smile in my eyes. My friends have encouraged me. That's also done a whole lot for my confidence as well. What I would recommend for them is just go for it. Because there's only one way to know for certain if trying to expand your horizons is a good decision. At least try to learn things. I think I would say it definitely saved me a lot of time blindly feeling around in the dark for guidance. Having stuff like weekly check-ins to keep me on track in order to really progress. I think the community is the part that I found the most helpful. The knowledge that I'm not doing it alone, the encouragement I get when I post onto the forums and such. It's really nice. The way the lessons are all set up is pretty convenient. I'm able to just knock a few out each day and following along in the books that they provided, and it's really helpful. I think that the topics that the lessons cover, they go a lot farther than simple creation of music. There's stuff like resources where you can find or even make your own album art and where to go once you've actually got something that you're ready to publish. and as well as the mindset needed in order to make music better. Each one of those I found really helpful. It's not something I was able to really find online in other places.